against two teams that, if I looked at them on paper, this probably wouldn't be the two teams that I'd 100% expect to be here.
Try to say the lowest elo captain making it to the finals? Just...
No, I trust in ImBlackYall. I mean, that guy's gotten second and first. He's like the Tien Quach, the Tien Quach light, if you will.
The poor man's TQ.
Yeah, that's what he is. And his team comp worked out first game, second game. They came through really, really well because they were against a really what we saw from Team Breezebro or whatever you want to call him, Breezair, Captain America, Team Canada, whatever you want to call that team. Game 1, they were so well coordinated, they outplayed their opponents. And game 2, ImBlackYall, it seems like kind of one of his strategies is he just wants to get his team, the enemy team, off on the wrong foot. He wants to make them uncomfortable. We're not going to play a standard game against you. We're going to do something funky, and you're going to have to deal with it. And while you're distracted by that, eventually our late game comp's going to come through. We're going to beat you in team fights. And, that seems to be their strategy at the current moment. Oh, and by the way, we have this really good guy on our team named Longley. He does work.
Yeah, so, I mean, take it however you want, but each time that ImBlackYall has made it to the finals, he had someone with the 2.5k elo on his team. Or 2.4k plus, I don't know if Otto was 2,500 of that.
Just helping.
He's probably listening on stream and being like, "Hey, would you stop bashing me?"
I'm actually
we really do enjoy Marnold playing with us.
Yeah.
Enjoying.
He's a good guy.
He's been there since the beginning.
He's an awesome supporter of Razor Weapon.
He's been my really crappy duo queue partner. What was that? What was that? You said he's kind of like the abusive girlfriend or boyfriend that you always go back to. 'Cause every time we play, it's just a struggle to win. I mean,
you want to leave, but you left
of the silver bracket, the very bottom gold, and it's just been a struggle every time. But we come back and we do it because we love it.
You want to leave, but you left 20 of your good CDs in his truck, and you still want to. Still want to pirate with those? Just gonna stick it out, take some more abuse. Call it a day. Mad Thunder loves that Jungle Olaf.
I think I don't play Olaf well enough, but I definitely think
I've liked Olaf for a while, and I've had so many people tell me nah, he's not good. But if you get him rolling, ask Nintendo Dex, that guy, if you get Olaf rolling in the jungle, it's ridiculous. And his axe, that low cooldown, you get to pick it up. It's AoE, clear camps like nothing. It's a pretty cool champ.
Still think Tiger Udyr flying under the radar.
He's low flying. He got that Phoenix stance, sitting low, and on fire. I don't know how that's under the radar, but he's doing it. So Boscow picking up his main jungler yet again. So I really just see this because Mad Thunder, what we saw from him last time he faced the Amumu, he's dismantled the Amumu and left them out in the cold, horrible, with no bandages on, just a naked crying Amumu that was level 3 while he was level 6.
So from what we've seen, Team ImBlackYall has consistently just run AoE comp.
Yep.
I think they've focused on pressing R and winning.
Yep.
Now, what we're going to see from Claymore's team is somewhat of a poke, somewhat of a kite, somewhat of a mobility composition. And right now, they're like, hey, you want to go toe-to-toe? We know how strong our AE can be. They showed us last time with Cassiopeia and Cho'Gath.
Yeah. They fought basically kind of a similar comp to this last time. I mean, honestly, the AP was the same. Amumu was still the jungler. Throw in some tanky top laner along with this, and then all they have to do is get to that Graves. And if they get to the Graves, then they're sitting pretty. As long as they don't fall behind early. If they fall behind early and let the AoE comp get ahead, then they have no business in any of the team fights. But if as long as they can stay even, they have a good chance.
I want to know if we're going to do a Hidden contest, and who is it going to be?
Well, I think Long Lee is kind of one of the front runners for that after his last game performance and how strong of AD he is. And he's really going to be the one probably cleaning up a lot of these team fights for this AoE comp. Although I like the Kennen play. I like them getting more damage in there because that was the problem with the last comp. The last team comp that we saw that Claymore just rolled over was just way too, like, it was like overly tanky and didn't have enough damage, enough sustained damage. I mean, because Morgana, she goes in there, she does her thing, but then she's all waiting on cooldowns like a lot of AP mages. And she's super tanky and great for team fights, like, positionally to spread you apart. But unless you get her really, really far ahead, TSM Reginald-esque, it's not going to really dominate people like you want it to. It's, and if you're even, you know, eventually they can if they get tanky enough, they shunk the damage. There's lots of ways you can get out of the shackle. It's done. But if you have a Kennen following up there or initiating, like a Kennen following up on a Mumu with a Morgana backing up, and then you have Longley in the back just picking people off, like that gets really, really scary. So a lot of it's going to be on Mad Thunder, because the key to the last game that they were successful against AoE comp like this with Mad Thunder was the fact that he was so tanky. He played his game really well. He was Mad Thunder-esque, like we saw from him in the last tournament. He was really, really far ahead, so he was able to just dive in there and zone out the AD. If he's not able to do that again, and they're able just to tear him down in the process of trying to dive the AD, then they're going to be in trouble. So far looking at a good game. So are you making the post now?
Oh, I am.
All right, yeah.
I like the fact that we are having Graves, a.k.a. and Riot Graves, I might be Riot Graves,
Ooh.
Longley, letting people guess the KDA for a Riot Graves skin.
Yeah, there you go. You can win a Riot Graves skin if you can guess the correct KDA in CS4, Longley. Should we do a KDA contest for Sona as well?
Is Sona in this game?
Yeah, she is. Awesome build.
Do it!
All right, KDA for Sona. It's happening. So Awesome Bill 4000. Bet you didn't think you were going to be part of a KDA contest, but you are.
Yes.
So you guys don't have one. You have two chances to win our KDA contest and get yourself some sweet skins. So hop on over there. Highland's making the post right now. Make sure you get in your guess. We're actually going to shut them down this time, hopefully in time. And you guys have your shot at those skins. And if anybody's wondering when those are going to be passed out, after this tournament's done, we're going to take a couple of minutes to just add up the scores, because it's basically just us right now streaming and doing all this stuff. So after the tournament's done, we'll take a couple of minutes, add them up, and then we'll PM you on Facebook, so you guys will get the PMs. We'll also announce in the post who won, so you guys will be able to find out that information. Don't worry. In the future, when we have more admins and we have the lovely Hey Kelso on staff, who's actually had to stay late at work tonight. Otherwise, she was going to be here helping us out. Then you will get your notifications instantaneously. And it's nice too. We just give you the skins. You don't have to. We don't have to have any account info or anything like that. We can just give you a quick code. We'll give you the info right away, and you guys can show off to your friends and be like, "Hey guys, let's play a game." Bam! Paxona. What? And they're like, "No way!" But yeah, I watched this cool tournament called Judgment last night. Won a KDA contest. What? I guess Awesome Bill 4000's KDA. What are the chances? Is he gonna steal a lot of kills? Is he gonna be part of a lot of assists in this AoE comp? Is he gonna get shut down early and be like 0-10 and something? Probably not. So, but it could happen.
Raise your weapons, KDA contest now with pictures.
Oh yeah. They're more appealing to the eye.
Problem is, every time we make a post on our Facebook page with photos, we get more comments. Which, don't get us wrong, we love your guys' comments. You should comment. You should play in our KDA.
I don't think that's a problem. That sounds like a good thing, Highwood.
We might have like 100 people in this one.
Oh well, that's always fun. That's always fun. See, that's like when Raise Your Weapon, like if we ever get this thing like really go and we get like a lot of viewers for one. My fear is that we're gonna run a KDA contest to get like 1,000 responses and be like, all right, so who wants to add this up and run these tiebreakers? This is gonna be exciting. We're gonna have to build the system. Maybe we can talk up to Jason at Battlefy. He can build us in a KDA contest system, and we can just one-click that stuff.
I bet if he's listening right now, he's probably already built it like, all right, let's go, guys. Come on, Justin and Justin.
Yeah, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, Jason has two people working for him named Justin. One named Justin Wong, ironically. Not the fight gamer, but equally as badass on the computer and programming. And the other one that's really amazing at social media. That guy is a stud. And when he actually helped us the first day, give out flyers, and he literally like led the charge, and we lost or not lost. I mean, we handed out 500 flyers. I say lost because I was holding a giant stack, and then slowly got dwindled away from me, and eventually there was nothing in my hands, and everybody had heard about a great tournament called End of Summerland. But that guy is good at what he does. So definitely picking up the right people. So
Judgment finals.
Just waiting
Judgment
for
9 finals. The last finals before we move into our EOS Invitationals, and then EOS will conclude on September 22nd, 23rd. If you don't know what EOS is, ping Highwind, ping Pato, in-game, Skype, on Facebook. Go to the links, seattleversus.com. Ask your friends. We know a lot of people are starting to sign up. If you like the Judgment format, you think it's, you want to win some cash, you want to win some riot points, you're going to be in Seattle that weekend, you'll be back in time for school on that Monday if you're worried about that. Really hit us up, get that information, because EOS is going to be awesome.
Like we say it a lot. We give the sales pitch, but really, if you miss this, you're gonna be very, very sorry, because we have so many amazing sponsors for this event. It's gonna be so much fun, and the pictures and the stories that are gonna come from this are gonna be past X, if you will.
Oh, Silo.
Oh no, the Vlad from before getting picked on, but he flashes over, but gets ignited, giving up first blood, and that is a good start for Team Claymore.
All right. Purple team, if you're watching or listening, you got to realize that Cho'Gath's flash is down 3 minutes from now. It won't matter because it'll be back up. But here right now, his flash is down. So your opportunity to gank starts now.
Yeah, and summer spells are a really important thing to actually pay attention to. We've talked a lot about it. One of the things that you picked up that really, that you noticed that really helped you as a jungler too, and just communication, team play, was just really keeping track of summer spells, because not a lot of people do it, and it's a big advantage in lane. Whether their exhaust is up, whether their team heal is up, whether their ignite is up. All these things are really important when you go into trade, especially in bot lane as well, or in a jungle gank where you're doing any sort of team gank action or team fight action. So. Or even 1v1, it's important too. But communicating that stuff is very, very important.
Yeah, I know as a jungler, the two primary things you want to look at: who in lane is being over-aggressive, and, the enemy-wise. And then, are we going to see a 2v1 top?
Yes, we're going to see a 2v1 top. They're working on those golems. Again, ImBlackYall strategy. Don't play conventionally. That's how they roll.
I honestly, after what I've seen at the high level, I think this is going to be the new convention going into World. I don't think it's going to deviate much from this. I think we're going to see a lot of this in the next month. It's probably already happening. I haven't been playing enough or watching enough League since I started working. But I think this is going to be the conventional. It just makes so much more sense. It's going to be like playing Ezreal and leveling up your W first instead of Q. Maxing.
Yeah, that's definitely, nothing. League of Legends isn't figured out. That's the good thing. It constantly changes. We have a whole new scene, but hold the thought. Awesome Bill might get taken down here, and Longley's trying to do everything he can to ward this off. In comes Boss Cow from the side. Will they be able to pick up a kill? That's a question. Claymore actually has a lot of creeps on his tail. Great flash over. Longley making plays, and all we have is Boss Cow. One bandage toss away from sealing the deal possibly here. Eats an axe in the process, but will he get run down? That is the question. It's so close. He's getting cried all over. Salty tears. But in comes that sustained damage. But ImBlackYall, as always, cleaning up the messes. And Bosscat just has to hold him there. And that double buff is going to get transferred onto, hopefully, Long Lee. But no, it's not. ImBlackYall, being a greedy man, is going to reset those buffs. And he has to be a little bit happy with himself. And we are 3 minutes in with 6 kills. These are the games I like. Come on, get in there.
Long Lee had 2 opportunities to pick up double buff, and ImBlackYall stole it twice. Oh, I really like that play. He really he did that early ignite, flashed over the rupture, and just really outplayed Claymore there. And there was nothing Claymore could do there. Once that rupture was down, he didn't have flash because he burned it earlier in that level 1 team fight. and really it was a mad dash to mid lane.
Yeah, really, really overall stellar play there, and good management by the red team. Following up what was like a really good play onto Sona. I mean, they had the kill, they picked it up, but Mumu being having very good map awareness, rotating up there and getting a good play off and able to convert some kills there.
I'm not quite sure how, but Amumu, who did start boots, Olaf started boots. I think Olaf may have just been out of mana, but Amumu was able, was able to stay in range most of that, of that entire fight, and didn't blow his bandage toss. Just really just kind of stayed in range. Kept playing a red buff. Ooh, we have a gank here
He's
in bot.
hunting himself down some champions down here. Kennen coming there. He is level 4, so he's matched with Ezreal. Great stun right there. Just holding on there. But Cassiopeia's rotated down there. He's going to have that sustained damage on the Kennen. I do not like Kennen's chances of surviving, except for he does have that flash, so he is going to be able to get out of this. So good on to him. Be able to lightning rush and get that distance. Otherwise, he was in a lot of trouble. It's really hard to outrun a Cassiopeia, especially with Noxus Blast giving her a movement speed buff. And then that sustained damage is crazy.
You know what contest we should have is the number of skill shots, or I guess in reverse, the number of skill shots that are avoided. But when you watch high-level players, that's mechanically that's what makes them so strong.
Unless your name is Scar, then you get hit by every dark binding in the history of man. Oh, good dark binding right there on the Mad Thunder. Let Boss Cow survive this and get out of dodge. And I have to actually like this play from Claymore's actually sustaining pretty well against this 2v1, honestly. Just chugging pots like a madman. But, he's doing okay. I like the Kennen 2v1, and it was a good, really that pick was entirely spawned from the fact that Kennen's he's one of the range characters. He's a character like we were talking about earlier. In the 2v1, he kind of thrives. Like he can farm from range. He doesn't have to worry about going in there. I mean, that's what Kennen's known for. He's one of the safest top 1v1 laners. And a 2v1, he can still be harassed, but at least he has that shuriken where he can farm from downtown, if you will.
And he's got mobility through his lightning rush. Should, trouble befall him.
Yeah.
Oh, Longley, you ate that one. Maybe you baited it.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. It's like, wait a minute. He dodges my rupture 99% of the time, and that 1% he eats it. Ooh. Wow, and bot lane turret, the first to fall here for the blue team.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 2v1 strategy, but I mean, that is a lot of pressure bottom lane for them, and not a lot of. The only problem mainly with Kennen is he's not going to go in to clear. Usually like he could lightning rush and try to clear waves that way, but early on it's not quite easy to clear that way. And compared to Cho'Gath just being able to scream or rupture to clear waves, it's not quite the same. So pushing in there is very, very possible. Great axe land onto Awesome Bill, and Awesome Bill is going to fall yet again, getting picked on, which does happen with a lot of supports. Longley, great quick draw out of the way of the axe. Just kind of showing off a little bit there.
So with that death, that definitely reminds me that I'm going to go ahead and close the KDA contest. You guys have had plenty of time to get in there and get those submissions in.
Yeah, things are getting hype and going on right now. When you got this many kills so far on, but slow down a little bit because we had another 3 minutes and only 1 kill instead of 6 kills. So technically slowing down, but we're starting to creep up. We got a 1.5K advantage starting for the blue team, and if they start to roll that around, they've killed bottom lane. One thing they can't do is forget about bottom lane though, and just let Ken farm all this up. And not make plays elsewhere. So I expect looks like there's pinging down for Dragon, which would still be a good idea because you still see Longley top. So they know they would have a 3v5, 3v4. It does return there as well. You also got a Mumu in the top jungle still. So this would be a really, really good decision for them if they decide to pick up this Dragon. And a good play for them. Although they are, going to give free farm to the red team there. But it looks like Gray's already pulling down here. It looks like he's just warding up, actually checking the blue buff. I actually kind of like that play. Right, they're going to protect himself and keep an eye on that buff. Ready to play, but blue looks like they will pick themselves up a Dragon. Red not in position to stop this, like we talked about earlier. And really, overall, good play. They're adapting to this 2v1 a lot better than ImBlackYall is. Trying to throw it out there in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like there's a hard time limit on the to run that 2v1 strategy, and it really falls. It's like right about the 8-minute mark. Basically, I guess it depends on it if you can tell if their enemy jungler starts there. But basically, you want to take that top turret quickly if you can, and then it'll definitely open up a dragon opportunity. Or you stay up there until that blue buff respawns, and then you counter it. Whoa, Mad Thunder coming in here on BlackYall is going to go ahead and blow that pop. Not going to do much here.
Yeah, he's getting in some damage, but that axe is better. But the Ignite coming in, and now they might actually have something. Boscow can actually land these skill shots, but he's been able to do really, really well so far. But he has some support coming in here. That was a mistake going in there and getting eaten alive. Matt Thunder getting the heals from Soraka and looking very, very good right now. Great play by them and sitting pretty.
Yeah, I thought that might have been Applefire coming in there to throw off that heal. We know Applefire and Mad Thunder have a lot of synergy together, having played on the same team. Graves using that ultimate to clear waves. And we're now going to see some tradition. We're going to see, looks like Kennen up top now with Claymore. And,
yeah, we're going to go back a little bit more standard now. Switching up the lanes. Graves though, missing that turret though, it's going to make it easy for him to farm if he wants to. But Blue actually has some good wards going on in both entrances to the up around Baron, to the jungle, and then one very, very deep near the blue buff of Red Team, and now one in River. Like, they have great vision of both jungles, and actually can see a lot of rotations. They're going to have a lot of information here to make some plays around the map if they want to. Graves is actually super unsafe in that bottom lane, just simply because, if they want to go through there, there's no wards that are going to catch him coming through try. He's pushed up, and he's definitely just backing off out of this now. Ezreal looks like he's thrown down his True Shot Barrage, trying to farm a little bit of those minions for himself from long range. And that's actually one of the cool things about actually having an Ezreal. So, the scenario like we've talked about a lot in these past games where it's like, you get bottom lane pushing, and then they have to send someone bottom to deal with that lane. Well, Ezreal, if he True Shot Barrages correctly and he's farmed enough, he just clears the bottom wave while it's at the tower, and it's like, all right, we don't have to go down there now. Blue team doesn't have to worry about bottom. We can still focus on this Baron, defending this Baron buff. It's kind of a cool mechanic to Ezreal, as far as like those scenarios, like in ways that you can use his abilities.
So right now, I'm looking for ways in which the red team can make an. Oh, that would be one of them. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, the heals! The heals!
Oh, okay.
Oh, quick draw over the wall. Longley making the bold decision with a quick draw, not getting picked off. Mr. Shot is barely going to land, actually.
Cyberstellar, double buff.
Oh, now they caught Blue a little bit up in their own jungle. They got a 4v2. Should be able to make something happen. Kennen going in here, but they're focused on Mad Thunder, who Ragnaroked, which is not going to be good. Cassiopeia coming in here, going to focus on to Kennen. Turn this around. Fail flash, actually, by Sona. Asa Bill getting picked off, and Boscow and ImBlackYall turn and tail. Oh, wow, that was actually a great dodge with that Dark Binding. That's actually, no one got hit by that. That was pretty stellar.
Yeah, I thought when I looked up, they're like 4 versus 2. They just got that kill off, in bot lane. This is what Red needs to do to turn it around. But they get 1 kill and give up 2. It's kind of the opposite of what they were looking to do here.
Yeah, really it is, and I think a lot of it stems from the fact that it's in a team fight, right? You don't want to start your team fight focusing on the tanky heroes. And even though you start as a 4v2, if the rest of the team filters in, you haven't been able to do enough damage and you're in a little bit of trouble. There's a Mumu coming in there. Mad Thunder, they want to take him down. Longley trying to be safe. He's not going to be able to get it. And heals coming in, dodging. I don't know if he's going to still be able to escape this. A little skirmish up in top lane, but yeah, I don't know if Mad Thunder's actually going to be able to get out of this.
Oh, it does.
If he does, that'd be the greatest. No, Dark Bine's going to land. All right.
Why are you stealing kills from your carry?
Because it's
right
Marnold.
If BlackYall loses this, it's because he stole 3 kills that should have been Longley's.
Maybe BlackYall entered the KDA contest and he's trying to keep those numbers low. He bid some low numbers. That's one of the only explanations.
I can rig this.
I think Marnold would argue with you that he is a carry himself, and therefore he wants to steal some kills. But yeah, I mean, in the scenario, at least earlier, it was a little bit of like a no-no because like if he still had some time on his buffs, so if you gave double buff to Longley, it just gives you more of an advantage in a 2v1 lane. Because like a 2v1 lane's bad enough for the top solo player, but when you add like blue-red buff on top of that to the top lane, then it becomes really ridiculous to try to sustain there, especially as a melee character kind of like Cho'Gath. Although he is a pseudo spellcaster, but really is a lot of short range. He's going more sustain, Vorpal Spikes kind of action. Just trying to farm up as much as you possibly can in the top lane.
So Ezreal, the first to 100 CS, about 10 CS ahead of Graves, does have a kill and assist. But Graves sitting on like 2 kills and 2 assists, so for all intended purposes, we're going to see a dead even right there between the carries. And Sona, really falling a little bit behind in terms of experience. She got picked on a little bit. She's got 3 deaths. But you know what? She's got just as many GP10 as Soraka, so, in terms of gold, she's also got 9 CS, which, as a support, that's just money in the bank. But this dragon securely going to be in the hands of blue. There's not much they can do. Cho'Gath is going to have feast. If they're at all worried about smite missing.
It was a good attempt there. Not going to happen though. And no, ImBlackYall. See, that was like a no combined with a That was just a no. Longley getting caught here too. They're just not escaping. Phage proccing. Oh, and combining almost combining the ult. And Awesome Bill trying to protect him a little bit, but it's gonna be short. And now Awesome Bill dead in the water. Gonna give up a kill here too. And things falling apart for Team ImBlackYall. He was looking pretty good. The young upstart on the block in these last 2 games, but right now this Claymore team, pretty stellar. And I have to believe this Claymore player, he actually, he must be, good with, team communication. I'll be interested, to find out after if he does win, if we do interview him, either way, win or lose, what his key to success is, because in the last team tournaments he's like, even when he's behind, his team kind of like digs deep and pulls it out. So we're just to find out, what the secret is behind that, for at least for his team. If it just happens, or he actually has like some tips for that, because right now he's obviously ahead, but in the previous game before, we saw him pull out something when he was behind, which seems to be, if you want to win a tournament at some point, it's great if you can just win every game, but there's always going to be hard games. Those hard games where you're behind, and you're going to have to persevere, and the teams that can do that are going to win more often than not.
So I think what they're going to want to do is get money in the hands of Longley. So whether that's farming minions, solo lane, getting, letting him come into mid lane, start pushing some turrets. The more CS, more gold that ends up in Long hands in this game is what's gonna really determine how well these guys try to make a comeback. They're behind 6k gold here. They haven't really had much luck getting their own resource buffs. Red and blue is, more than 50% of the time gone to the blue team. Well, the red team's red and blue buff.
Yeah, they already seem to be doing it. I mean, he has a lot of CS. He's rotating around. He had 1 or 2 potential kills taken from him. But other than that, like, he's been able to get kills. He's been efficient. He's only died once. So overall, like, they're doing what they need to do. The problem is that the AoE comp from behind, the damage output potential is lowered enough to the point where they, the other team can kind of wade through it a little bit, if you will. Picking off Sona again, I don't know if that's really the best target they need to pick off, but it doesn't matter at this point. They're actually able to take out the Cassiopeia, which is good. It's going to get rid of a lot of sustained damage, and now we have like the tanky scenario that we almost saw Claymore actually have the advantage in a little bit before. Matt that are trying to run from his life, and now Claymore trying to delay as much as possible, popping people up. Now they're just playing the ring around the rosy game, but once this Ezreal gets into play, then they're in a lot. Oh, that slow from the axe comes in. I don't necessarily know what's going on here. Maybe he just wanted this kill.
Have Flash Ignite so he can get that kill in there, and he can flash out and possibly be safe here.
I have a feeling there's going to be an Arcane Shift over this wall, possibly.
And
no, it's not going to be played.
On Baron.
Wow. All right, good job. Good job, Seal. Pulling off some kills. And that was a good team fight actually, for red team in the end actually.
Yeah, they were to pick up a kill streak bonus. Trying to see if they actually got 2 kill streak bonuses out of that. And Amarno KSing another.
Hey, it just happens. Just happens. You know, third on the pool.
4th kill. He has Rush Zonias. So, oh, poor Bill.
All right, so I joked about Awesome Bill dying a lot. Apparently, they heard this and they just wanted to focus him. Although the good news is for Red Team is Awesome Bill dying a bunch. You know, he's not worth a lot of gold. Might as well be a minion. And if they're going to focus and waste cooldowns on him, you know, all the more power to their team. Their carries can dodge some of those cooldowns and, you know, be able to output their damage.
Yeah, I mean, the other good news for Sonya, you know, for Awesome Bill is that you're, you know, one good ult, and you can go from being 0-10 to, you know, 0-10-1 to 0-10-6. And I mean, that's how good a Sona, you know, a Sona ult can be. You know, you can actually turn the tides of the fight. If they get clumped up, if they're playing too aggressive, they're expecting Cassiopeia's ult, you know, and they just somehow end up clumping up. I mean, it's something. Uh-oh, we got a pause going down here. Might have some more connection issues.
Yeah, so the thing that we're kind of pointing out here, though, is that with champions like Sona, or like the reason you play supports, right, is because they don't need a lot of gold. They're still efficient, even if they don't have a lot of gold. And that's why, I mean, they also have other supporting abilities to your team, other factors like that. But the main thing is, like, they're playable because you don't need a ton of gold and you don't need items to make them efficient. Now, Sona is getting picked on a lot, but again, like you said, her ult's still really, really effective in a team fight if you land it correctly. Characters like Vlad, like, you might get picked on, you might be behind, but you're all giving that damage percent bonus to your team. If you land a really good ult on 5 members and you boost your team's damage by 18% or something like that, like, that's huge. Like, that's still effective, even if you're down and you don't necessarily have the items to actually output the damage with your spells. Still really good. So, like, champions like that, Malphite even too. I mean, it's hard for Malphite to get behind these days, but let's say you do. You still have great ults that can come in there. You're still naturally tanky. There's still stuff that you can do while you're behind. So even though someone's getting picked on, I mean, like we said earlier, eats cooldowns, still have your ult to get out, all gravy.
Items in this game are just tools that help you, you know, succeed or help you win. Right now, I mean, what the biggest thing that's going to help you win in any game are going to be your mechanics, and that's in your fundamentals. That's map awareness, positioning, anticipating the enemy, you know, dodging skill shots. You know, there aren't items in the game that are going to really make you dodge skill shots all that much better. Now,
Hourglass, yes.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, a long ass cooldown. But I mean, you know, just taking a look at gold, Sona, you know, has just as many gold pretends as Soraka.
Probably on top of the Ragnarok. Awesome Bill not being so awesome, trying to get the Black Shield, get 11, but ImBlackYall might die in response, almost lands a Dark Binding back in there, but dodged nicely by Cassiopeia.
But I wanted to point out that, you know, Sona 0-7-1, only 80 or 90 gold behind Soraka.
Yeah. I mean, life is supports. The only problem, though, is that Soraka hasn't given as much gold to the enemy team. And that's the slight problem. And especially in the early lane. Oh, wow.
It looks like we have another time where Boscow's been caught out of position. Earlier, he was almost baited.
Oh, Kennen coming from behind, gets ulted to the face, gets torn apart, but now we still have Longley alive, taking a little bit of initial damage there, and Cassiopeia's got this. Yeah, she's going to be able to clean this up. Will she die, though? No, she's not going to be able to die, and she'll be able to be poked off. Heals coming in from Soraka, and they're going to restart to press this lane. Shogath coming in for her. He can tank whatever he wants. Good Black Shell by ImBlackYall, going to be able to protect him out here. This turret should be able to be taken down, but they keep getting the wrong people focused. Oh, man, that would have been embarrassing. Luckily, they got Soraka. Luckily, they got heals. They're still good. It's okay.
So, this turret going to go down.
One of these days. All right. We got
So, one of the things you want to do, so right now, I mean, Bill is probably just thinking like, oh my god, I'm having a terrible game. You know, don't focus on the negative aspects. Start thinking about what you can do. I would definitely say, you know, try and get your team rounded up. You know, you guys are a team fight team. You want to make sure that when you all go in, those green dots next to your name in the top left, in those top left corners of the portraits, they're all there. You want to look at your mini map, make sure you're all clumped up. You know, you guys want to group up, and you really want to start making some smart team fights. And you know, if you start roaming, maybe you pick up an oracles, you start clearing some wards, and really start getting that map, that map back. Because right now, what's costing them the game, outside of the 8 or 9 deaths that's got them behind, so they don't really have any sort of, they're losing this map battle. And what's happening is the red team is getting caught out of position, one at a time. And that's not what they want to happen. They want to actually be fighting as a team.
Yep. And one of the things, too, to do is, we saw right there, Awesome Bill just kind of using his ult. And it's, some people, the unfortunately, a lot of the community, their reaction is, oh, you're so terrible, like you should uninstall the game. But really, as a captain, you're in a tournament. This is your teammate. The correct way to respond is to be like, hey, you know what? Again, like we said, recognize you have that team count. Awesome Bill's going to get picked off again. Apparently that's the name of the game. But be like, hey, you know what? We need you. We have a team comp. Stick with us. Cast your ult when I say to cast your ult. Give basically, and if you're unsure as a player and you feel like the pressure's kind of getting to you, you're missing those ults. So with that, ask your team. Ask them like, hey, here, put it in your hands. Tell me when to ult. Tell me where to be. And I'll pull this off because you know the positioning better. Let me rely on you a little bit to try to pull this off. And Blue's actually taking a lot of damage from this Baron.
Yeah, they are. Baron's only at half health.
Kennen trying to go in there. He's going to get picked off right away yet again. And ImBlackYall's going to try to get in here and pull off some action. Will he be able to pull off in time? Nope, he's going to get blown up. And Longley trying to do some work and poke in here. But Blue team all up, all chasing down. Boss Cow might be in a little bit of trouble. Great quick draw over there, actually dodging the Randuins as well.
Yeah.
And will he be able to get this? Nope. Slow's going to proc, maybe. Oh, speed buff from Awesome Bill. What? It's going to save him. Uh-oh. Mad Thunder in trouble. Ignited. He's going down.
Oh, I think he's going to pick up a red buff for those efforts as well. If he gets off an auto attack here, he could be dangerous for Cassiopeia. Her ult is down. Oh, there's another red buff proc. And
the good news is first she has a lot of damage and a lot of backup. And Longley, unfortunately, did not have any backup there. Everybody backing or respawning. So blue team, they were sitting pretty. They're up about 10k, but red team still has some fighting them. If they can actually just pull it together and get off a really good team fight, get off a really good catch all fully together, instead of getting people picked off one at a time, they have a really good shot to win a lot of these team fights because they're not losing by that much, even getting people picked off.
And, even though they did throw away 3 or 4 deaths right there, they prevented the blue team from securing Baron. So overall, that worked out kind of in their favor. They are losing, and they're actually losing by even more. But in this situation, they didn't just basically lose the game there. And so that worked, I think if they could just get it down where Amumu goes in first, and then Sona, and then Kennen on top of that, and then you have Graves who's being basically protected the whole time because everybody else is locked down in this AOECC.
Wow, they have 2 bottom. Blue's seeing this. They're pinging like crazy. Red's pinging like crazy. And now we begin the mad dash back up to Baron to defend it yet again. And ImBlackYall's coming from base. I don't think they have a chance of stopping this, really. Cassiopeia sustained DPS, especially with that blue buff coming in. Is going to clear this really, really quickly. And there it is. So Baron buff going for blue team. Red's just going to have to give this up, play defensively.
Run! Do not fight!
No, this is not what they want. And ImBlackYall basically has no choice at this point. Way too many slows. And this could be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, they did such a good job, sacrificing themselves so that the other enemy team didn't get Baron, and then they just kind of threw it away and said, no, I'll go ahead and take Baron.
So, blue team knocking on the door. They really can't push them off this. They have a lot of sustain. Not only do they have Soraka, but they also have that Baron buff mixed in there. And even if they picked a fight underneath the turret, it wouldn't matter at this point. Sonal coming in, just helping them get away. But, at this point, that's not enough to help them win this game. Once the first inhibitor falls, now they're going to have some more the minion wave pushing top. They can even just take this turret if they really want to. But ImBlackYall coming in here, get off some good damage with a little reduction. Boss Cow jumping in, gets off his ult as well, but he might fall next. Just so much heal coming back in there. combined with that Baron buff, just totally working out for the blue team. They're ahead. They've got their items. Awesome build dying yet again. Awesome build 0-9-2. But still, trying to make plays for his team. Actually had the save on Boss Cat a little bit earlier with the speed up boost. But yeah, Nexus turret's going down. Looks like Claymore is going to pick up another victory for himself. This time as a captain in Judgment. Almost was going to be a step-in captain for the last Judgment. Said played for a team, ended up winning, and much deserved so far in this game. Red team just trying to make a last stand as they could. Unfortunately, it's not working out for them. And your champions are going to be Claymore number 47, picking up a win here. Judgment number 9.